The first topic I'm going to talk about is that the Charles Fast and Furious movie has announced its title and its release date. It's coming out March 17th, 2028. It's going to be called Fast Forever. When it comes to this franchise, I used to be a big Fast and Furious fan. I love the original Fast and Furious movie. Yes, it's a whip up a Point Break, which is another movie that I love. Didn't bother me personally. Like, I love the original Fast and Furious movie. The second one I disliked. I liked Tokyo Drift. I liked the fourth one. I loved Fast 5, Fast Furious 6, and Furious 7. Furious 7, in my opinion, should have been the send off for the franchise. They should have ended it there because that would have been a great send off. When it comes to the last four movies, though, I haven't liked any of them. I didn't like Fate of the Furies, the eighth one, and I didn't like Fast 9. I didn't like the spin-off Hobbs Shaw, and I didn't like Fast X. The last four movies I thought were terrible. So for me, excitement wise for this movie, I have zero excitement for the new movie. Like, to me, the last four were just really bad, and they've gotten so over the top to the point of where they just aren't fun for me anymore. Like, I don't mind movies being over the top or a franchise being over the top, as long as you feel like there's some tether, like a little tether to reality, where I can still buy into it. When I watched Fast Five and Fast Furious 6 and Furious 7, that three film one, I felt like those movies did a great job of, yes, they were over the top, while at the same time still being really fun, and I still bought into them being over the top with, and I still feel like they had a little tether to reality. It didn't feel like they went like too over the top to a point where I didn't buy into it. While Fate of the Furious, Days One, where you have the Rock grabbing a submarine missile on the ice, it just, to me, they just jumped the shark so much in that Ace one. And I also think Paul Walker, after his death, I feel like his character is missing in the franchise, because I think one of the things that made those movies great was the friendship between Vin Diesel's character and Paul Walker's character. So I do feel like he was like a big part of that franchise, and it just, he added a lot of heart to the franchise. So I think that's another thing that kind of, for me personally, has hurt the movies, that's been missing from the movies. And just like I said, the franchise got so over the top and ridiculous. They're basically superhumans now in these movies, where they just don't seem to take any damage. And Van Diesel's character just seems to get up without any scratches, or like not looking damaged at all. And even in Fast Nine, they do the whole meta thing where they like reference the fact they walked away from this stuff without dying or being injured. It just, they basically feel like superhumans in these movies now, and it's just gotten too ridiculous for me personally. So I have no excitement for this. When it comes to the title Fast Forever, I think it's fine. I'm not somebody who cares that much about titles for a movie. To me, it doesn't like affect the quality of the movie. It doesn't make me excited or less excited for a movie. There's movies where I go, oh, that title's too long, or that's a bad title. At the end of the day, though, it doesn't like make my stomach go up or down. So the title I think is fine. Doesn't do anything for me personally. I just don't have any excitement for this new Fast and Furious. I'm happy for the fans that really enjoy and love this franchise still. The only way I'll probably get excited for a new Fast and Furious movie again is if they reboot the franchise at this point, for me personally. The next topic I'm going to talk about is that Catherine O'Hara has passed away, and it sucks to hear this because she was a great actress. She was in two of my favorite Christmas movies, Home Alone 1 and 2, where she played Kevin's mom. She was also in the Beetlejuice movies. The original Beetlejuice, being one of my favorite Tim Burton movies, and I really like Beetlejuice too, Beetlejuice. And she's done a lot of other stuff. Like, I haven't seen a lot of her movies, so I'm sure there's some fun, great movies I'm missing, since I haven't seen too many of her movies. She was just a great actress, though, and I definitely think she'll be missed. And my prayers and thoughts go out to her family and friends. And if you're a film fan, go check out some of her movies. Like, go check out the first two Home Alones. Go check out the Beetlejuice movies. Go check out some other movies. She was a fantastic actress, and she will be missed, in my opinion. The next topic I want to talk about is How to Train Your Dragon 2 has started filming. When it comes to this live action sequel, I like the first How You Train Your Dragon live action movie. I didn't love it, so this isn't like one of those So when I like, it's always great to hear when a movie started filming. This isn't one of those movies that's going to be on top of my list when it comes out, though. Like I like the first live action one. I didn't love it. The animated movies I love. Like I go recommend go check out the How You Train Your Dragon animated movies. It's not just the animated movies. Not those three aren't just like one of the best trilogies animated wise. They're also just one of the best trilogies of all time. I have been in. Like I love the three animated How You Train Your Dragon movies, and I thought the live action one was good. It wasn't great. It was good though. So I have interest in the sequel. It's not like on the top of my list when it comes to films that I'm really excited I hear I've started filming. I am interested in it though, and it's good to hear that they started filming, and hopefully it ends up being a really good movie like the first live action one, or one of those sequels that's even better. The next topic I'm going to talk about is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie Secret of the Ooze is coming back out in theaters for an anniversary release. I think this is great news for Turtles fans. I'm a big Turtles fan. I will admit though, the second movie, Secret of the Ooze, I think it's okay. It's a little too like lighthearted and kiddie and kid friendly for me. Like I love the original '90s movie. I love Mutant Mayhem, the last movie that came out, which was the animated one. And I wish I went to go see the original '90s one because I know that got re-released in theaters. That's one of those movies I would love to see in theaters. I never saw the original '90s one in theaters. When it comes to Secret of Use one, I'm happy for the fans that really enjoy love that movie. I'm a big Turtles fan. It's not a movie that I love though, so this news doesn't really excite me personally. I'm happy for the fans that are excited for Secret of the Use being re-released in theaters. Next topic is Sam Raimi. So he was doing his press tour for Send Help. He was asked about Spider-Man 4. And it sounds like he's changed his mind where he would be open to doing a Spider-Man 4 if he ever got a chance to. And when it comes to do I think Sony and Marvel would ever do a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire and there was no Chaos and Sam Raimi? Maybe in the future. I don't think it would happen anytime soon, only because you do have Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, and I'm really excited for Tom Holland's fourth one, Brand New Day, and it sounds like that's going to be sort of a trilogy of him in his college years. And I love Tom Holland's previous movies, so I someday I think this could happen in the future. I don't think it would happen anytime soon. I feel like if it was going to happen soon, it would have happened after No Way Home, with how big of a hit that movie was. I am glad to hear that he's open to doing a Spider-Man 4 because I would love to see Sam Raimi direct a Spider-Man 4. Tobey Maguire, he was my Spider-Man last when I was growing up. Like I love those first two Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man 3 I think is awful. Those first two movies I love though. And it was great to see him in No Way Home. Like to me, Tobey Maguire's first two movies, Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, and when it comes to those actors as a kid, Tom Holland and Tom Maguire are my favorite live action Spider-Man of all time, and their movies, in my opinion, are the best live action Spider-Man movies. And Tom Maguire's, like I said, I grew up with his Spider-Man, and he was great in the role. Like I loved his version of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and I would definitely be down to see a Spider-Man 4 because of how much I love those first two movies, and the fact that Spider-Man 3 was so bad. I would love to see Sam Raimi get another shot at Tobey Maguire's Spider movie and the franchise on a better note. Because I just really was not a fan of Spider-Man 3. And I'm talking about both cuts. But it's the theoretical cut of Spider-Man 3 or the editor's cut of Spider-Man 3. I just think that movie's a gigantic mess. And it was a movie that it's been made clear that the studio interfered with that movie. And Sam Raimi was not happy with how that movie turned out. So I would love to see him, the franchise to get a better send off than that movie. And it's just great to hear that it would be open to Spider-Man 4. Like, hopefully it happens someday. I think it could happen in the future. I just don't think it would happen anytime soon. I would definitely be down though for Spider-Man 4 with Tom Maguire in that cast again. The last topic I'm going to talk about is the Batman star Paul D. I think the actor's how you pronounce his name is Paul Dano. There we go, Paul Dano. The actor who played Riddler in the Batman movie. he came out and responded back to Quentin Tarantino's comments. And I talked about in like two other videos. I really wasn't a fan of how Quentin Tarantino has attacked that actor Paul Dano. Like I have no problem if you're not a fan of an actor. That's not my problem. It's just when you call somebody a limp dick and the worst actor in SAG, I felt like he took it too far, personally, in my opinion. And I just love what Paul Dano said, how he said people spoke up for him because he has so many people who worked with him spoke up about how great of a guy he is. And look, if you don't think he's a very good actor, that's totally understandable. This actor's, Jennifer Lopez. I think she's a mediocre actress. She's not one of the best actresses in my opinion. So I totally understand not being a fan of a certain actor or just not connecting with a certain actor. That's totally understandable. I think like where Quentin Tarantino, in my opinion, took it too far is when he called him a lip dick in the most second saga. I felt like it was just like, okay, it seems like it just came off like a personal attack. I love the fact that Paul Dano didn't like. I love how he responded with just saying, hey, I'm thankful for the people that came out and supported me. Was behind my back. I just think to me that shows how much of a great actor he is and how you haven't heard anybody talk bad about him. And everybody's talking about how much he's great to work with. And I think I like when actors show some class. And I'm not just, like I said, I'm not a fan of bullies. I'm not a fan of people that feel the need to attack somebody else. Like, there's a way to say you don't like an actor in a classy way without being an asshole the way you say it. And I also think the other problem I have with Quentin Tarantino's statement is that he's coming from a guy who just, to me, is not a very good actor. I love Quentin Tarantino as a filmmaker. I think he's a great filmmaker. Him talking crap about an actor, I'm just like, he's not a very good actor, Quentin Tarantino, though. So I don't really think he has the light. And I also think just when you work in a Hollywood business, I just think when you take it that far, like it sound like you comes off like you're personally attacking the person. It just to me it rubs me personally the wrong way, and where I'm just like you just come off like a douchebag. And Quentin Tarantino lately has been one of those people where his film opinions, I don't. Oh, I like there's times where I've like definitely disagreed with his film opinions, and there's just times where he says stuff lately where I'm just like he just comes off kind of like immature asshole to me at times. Still love him as a filmmaker. I'm still gonna watch his movies. I really love how Paul Dano responded though, just like saying, "Hey, thanks for thanking the people that support him, that came out to defend him." And he just sounds like a really cool, down to earth guy. And I think this is a great story about how I like the fact he didn't like try to talk back to Quentin Tarantino. He responded in a classy way, and I think this is a great story about how just how like you can just how you can have like how you can respond in a classy way and not respond in a way in like an asshole way. And I love a response of just saying, hey, thank you for supporting me as fans and the people that came out, the other people that talked about working with him. I love seeing how he was to me shows some class. Paul Dano, which is something I think Quentin Tarantino needs to show at times with the way he just stuff he says lately. So I thought this was a great story, and it just makes me even more of a fan of Paul Dano. Like I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's great in a lot of stuff. Like I loved him as a villain in the Batman. He was in the movie The Prisoners with Psylocke with Hugh Jackman, and just everything I've always seen him in, he's fantastic in. And he just this response to this shows, in my opinion, sounds how much of it sounds like that he's one of those down to earth guys that appreciates his fans and that the people who came out to support him. I think this is just a great great uplifting story when it comes to his response, and I just love how he responded to Quentin Tarantino's comments. So that's all the movie news today. Until next time, movie fans.